I know this video, or the video I have made, is a bit lengthy, so I'm going to break it into two halves. That's part one and part two. I don't know if it's still going to fit in very well into two halves because it's a bit very long, but I just hope you guys enjoy what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. You might learn something, you might not learn something, but be nice enough to drop comments, be it criticism, be it good comments. Just drop it. I'm just here to learn. I mean, I'm here to learn and
So
share my
guys,
own
I
experiences
apologize
and
for
share
the
my thoughts
view you
about
guys
things.
are going to be having, because I know it's a bit difficult. I don't know why I keep forgetting at the point where I'm about to make my videos to slant my phone. Hence why we're going to be having the view
Hi guys,
in a
welcome back,
very I don't know the word to use, but in a very rough
If it's your
manner,
first
and
time
that might
here,
affect
please
or
subscribe
make
to
you
my
feel
channel.
reluctant
Please
to
make sure you
continue.
like,
So I'm really sorry,
comment,
and I promise
share,
henceforth
and
I'm going to have
subscribe.
a better
And
view
if
for
it's
you
not your
guys.
first time,
I love you guys so much. Thank you.
please, I'm still begging you, try to subscribe before you leave here today. So today I'm going to be saying something that everybody talks about, but I don't know, I just have a feeling that, or I just have that urge that, okay, let me just share my own thoughts on it. And I'm going to be talking about relationships today, relationship as a whole today. So stay tuned, guys, stay tuned. Guys, I know we all know the definition of relationship, so I don't have to go deep into that. And today I'm going to be addressing a particular part of relationship, and that's boyfriend girlfriend aspect of relationship. To an extent, or let's say a couple of times, I've been like opportune to have conversations with girls, guys, or let's say I've been exposed to relationship bands or relationship wahala right from when I was in GSS. Though it wasn't my relationship, or I had friends that just one way or the other felt like Stella could give them an advice or the best advice, or things like that. So yeah, it became something more intense when I was in SS. But then I just want you guys to know that, or have at the back of your mind, that everything I'm going to be saying today is my opinion, is how I have seen things over time, is not really how I have judged things, but how things have looked over time. And you don't have to take it, you don't have to accept it. Your opinion, your views could be different, but this is what I am saying, or will I call it my opinion. It doesn't even mean this is how I run my own relationship. So don't get it twisted, don't get the wrong view or whatever it is. Let's just have a smooth ride while we talk about this. If you have your own opinion, you can always drop it in the comment section. I mean, I'm here to learn. So let's just have a smooth ride where we talk about something together without having to throw insults or shades at one another. I've When you ask some guys, what do you look out for in a girl? When you ask some girls, what do you look out for in a guy? What are the things a guy would do that makes you feel like, ooh, that's my spec? What are the things a girl is gonna do like, ooh, that's my spec? So I really can't say much because all of my ideas I just went blank now. But I'm just going to say things I can remember. Okay, so for me, apart from being a fine person, which is always like the first thing, I mean those are like the first things you see before you get to talk to them, or before they get to leave an impression, or before you have some kind of intellectual conversations. The physical things you see that makes you, oh, someone that is, sometimes some girls are not even after how fine you look or something, but how neat you look. I mean, when you're neat and you have a good carriage and everything, you don't even have to look like Timini, for example, this very fine boy and everything. You don't have to have that, that facial structure and everything before you can catch a girl's attention. Neatness is one thing, because when a lot of things come together and build up you looking neat or whatever it is. You're neat, you have a good composure, the way you carry yourself. Sometimes some guys are not even worth $1 million, but the way they carry themselves in public, you start like, who's the guy? Who's that guy? She get beautiful or very neat haircut, whatever your preference is, just something very neat, all of those things. And at the same, some girls check out for nails, all those petty things you really don't probably put your mind to, or you really don't think about. And some a good number of times the same thing for the girls. A girl that is reserved, has a very good composure, carrying that face like you're going for war, which would be my own resting face. We all have different resting face. For some people it's like Ijawa, Ijausi, we are always guiding, whether there's fight whether or not, we are always ready to to guide ourselves, attack or whatever it is. And all of so many things. When you're wearing that face, my 11-year-old brother will tell my sister, stop wearing this face because you make guys run away from you. So if someone that young could feel that way because someone is always wearing a strong face, and you could actually tell a couple of things that will attract a guy to a girl. Okay, now I'm done because people look out for different things. It's not the same thing for everybody. I look out for different things. Other people look out for different things. I'm not here to say that. But one thing I've realized is that, or whenever I get into conversations with people, we need to understand as individuals, or we need to understand as adults or youth, as the whatever place you want to categorize yourself, or whatever you just want to put yourself. You have to understand that a relationship is not a place to build yourself. A relationship is not a place to heal. It's not a place to find your worth. It's not a place for you to define yourself. As an individual, as a person, you have to know what you want. Know your worth. Because when you know your worth, you'll be able to filter things that come to you and you'll be able to pick wisely. A lot of people say it, which is true, it's not just a band. As much as we ladies have all the crazy instincts, we can tell when something is going wrong, and so my instinct is crazy, man. Recently something happened to me, and I think that was the first day. And I think that same day, in the morning, I had a conversation with a friend, and I was expressing, what I could feel about the whole scenario and the whole situation. And I was saying that I feel like this is gonna happen. Like I feel like energy has changed. I feel like this is gonna happen. And it happened that night. It happened that day. It didn't even go the next day. I had to text her. Normally I don't tell people my I don't spill my issues to people. But I had to text him. I was reluctant to text him, but I had to text him that day and tell him that. Can you imagine? See what we were talking about? It actually happened now. It's like I could have that very crazy instinct, and people always say, or most times they make it as bands that girls have that crazy instinct. They can tell when something is going to happen, or when something is good or something is bad, but they cannot tell. No, they can't differentiate a bad guy from a good guy. A good number of times they end up dating the crazy ones. I don't think it really works that way, because apart from those things you exhibit or those character you show, even when you are not watching, when you don't even know you're doing it, that I'm able to decipher, or I'm able to have some backup thinking that creates the instinct working thing. Apart from those things that you exhibit, there's sometimes that people don't show. They show you what they want you to see. It's just like social media. I show you what I want you to see. Sometimes your personality or your normal self infiltrates that particular ideology of, oh, this is what I want people to see, which is really fine. Sometimes you can't just help it. Sometimes you can't judge it. Sometimes we reminisce. We just have things run through our mind and we just let it out there because it is who we are. We are human. But at the same time, I'm just coming out from that peripheral aspect of it. I show you what I want you to see. So if I'm coming to me, recently I just told myself this year that I am going to be very intentional about whatever I feel towards anybody. Whatever it is, I'm going to be very intentional. Enough of, okay, I want you to see this part of me, and I probably just isolate the other part of me. And when we get into the whole thing, it's like, when I start my madness, it's like, what's this girl? Where did all of this, energy come from? So, you have to understand that I'm getting into a relationship. I'm not getting into a relationship to find myself. I'm not getting into a relationship to build myself. I'm not getting into a relationship to heal from my past experience. And a new relationship is not also an avenue for you to show all of the, hurt, anger, and everything for the next person. The person knows nothing. Don't ruin, because the funny thing is that next person might actually be the very good person for you. And that's really the ideology I've been holding on to. I've gone through a lot of shit. Recently I went through one, and I'm just trying to be as calm as possible. But I told myself that I'm not going to. I've never been that kind of person though. But then I make you go through a lot of talks, bands, maybe from the beginning until eventually we have a thing. I told myself that I'm not going to make my relationship or the next relationship or the next person suffer for what the past person has done. Just learn from it and move forward. And I think to an extent that's why my instincts can be very sharp at times, because I've dealt with a large, let me just say, maybe to an extent, a large age bracket, and I can somehow tell how this person is going to behave, how that person is going to behave, because you know I've had things to do with people in that particular age bracket. I can tell. The only difference is, which is something I always avoid to do, I don't say, because I don't use my past to judge the next person, because you could be very wrong. You could decide to judge one person and be like, oh, because I always date people in their 20s, or I've always dated people in their 28 and 30s. Just so we have bands on Twitter and everything. 30 plus, they're always acting cranky, they act very funny and everything. You can be very lucky, or it can be very, very hilarious that you meet someone else that is also within that age bracket, and the person is super different. The person is super normal. It's like the energy is different, the vibe is different. I don't know if I'm okay. Yeah, literally. Because I was about to ask a question. I remember when I was talking to myself. So that's just that about that. If you know your what, you know what you want. It's very easy for you to pick out from a lot of people that approach you. It's very easy for you to say, oh, that's the person I want. This is not the person I want. I don't know if that makes sense. So stop trying to impose, or stop trying to punish the next person if it doesn't make sense, because that next person might actually be the best person for you. That might be the very best person for you. And they say you don't know what you have until you lose it. I've really not been in that situation like that. I think I've only experienced it with one person, but then it was not like we had a thing. I've really not been in that situation where I have to like look back and say you don't know what you have until you lose it. But don't make yourself be in that situation where you say that. Don't make yourself regret what you have done in the past, because it's going to be very painful. Most times, matters of the heart, it goes the pain you feel goes deeper than, oh, I just sprained an ankle, I just sprained my wrist. It goes deeper. Sometimes the regret is way deeper. So also, one thing you have to understand, I got into a conversation recently with somebody, and that was when I had to say is that, okay, before you get to a relationship, try to have deep conversations. I know it's not easy. People like us that catch feelings is easily, as much as we are the James Bond and everything. When we find somebody that probably makes us laugh a lot, someone that is very nice, we catch feelings. I don't even know where they like in the person. So have conversations. Have conversations about their views on, a lot of people smoke and everything. Sometimes some of them just hide it from you, or they probably don't feel comfortable and have conversations that make them do some things that you don't expect. If it means you're having video calls, like, yourself, I like to have video calls, I like to have voice calls, I prefer text. You guys should like have conversations that shows, though there's some things that once you're really in love and everything, you start catching feelings, you do what you don't want to do on the Monday. You stay all night having a particular long calls with somebody, and he just might still even end up leaving you. But notwithstanding, have conversations, have deep, heart-to-heart conversations. Have conversations about their preference on mode of conversation. I see some people on Twitter be like, I need that. The fact that we're dating does not mean you should choke me. I want space. People are different. So have conversations. Not that you get into it and after like a month or 2 months start complaining that the person is cheating. Meanwhile, that's just the person's personality. Some people, they are dating, not like they don't like you, they love you, but they don't want that, oh, we're always checking up on each other. Some days they even want to stay a whole day without checking. It's very weird to me. I don't know how people, but you just have to have conversations. As much as some things are weird to you, doesn't mean it is weird to them. So you might be doing some things that's going to be hurting you because you let your emotions drive you way more than your mental capacity is going to drive you, more than your brain is going to drive you. Because having a relationship of feelings or whatever it is does not mean your brain shouldn't work. I know it is very hard. It is very, very hard. But I think that's one way or the other is a bit of the gift God gave me. No matter how much I'm like into this person, there will be a day I sit back and my brain comes back into action. It's not dormant all through that period. So have conversations. Have conversations on sexual preferences. I was talking to somebody. Sorry if you're going to watch this and you feel like I'm making reference to you, but I learned a lot from the conversation we had, and that is why I'm saying this. I had a conversation with him, and he's like, me, I'm this kind of person. I'm very sexually active, and it's not just about the acts and everything, but he sees it as an art, and we have to communicate while doing it. I don't know if you know. Some people have different. There's some people that they don't have anything in their life to say. They have nothing important to say in any chat. Any conversation you have, something will come out about the genitals. Something will come out about what they want to do with you next. Even sometimes you guys have nothing sacred together, but you always make reference to things like that. So you have to understand, you have to make conversations. Not that when you start to be like, ha, over mommy, you start running. I don't know. See, we see a lot of things. We hear a lot of stories. We hear people's point of view and everything. So like, it's really understandable, or I kind of understand where I am coming from. You might see that as being weird, but it happens. You know, when you don't have conversations about certain things, you feel like, oh, because the person is compatible dress sense, person is tall enough, person is fine enough, person is a perfume freak, the person is intellectually, high there, the person's IQ is like who is blazing. You know, you just feel like, oh, this person is not entirely that, because we're all different. I might be the kind of person that, okay, I don't want to have this kind of conversations because it puts me off, irrespective of what I feel about you. I just feel like these are not the kind of conversations we should be having. But somebody else is like, fuck that shit. Even in the talking stage, we should be able to have such conversations because I like you. I want this to happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to understand people. You have to have conversations about everything. Because in the end of it all, when you are crying, when the thing is holding you, is shocking you like this, you will be the one to come back and be like, wow, wow, this happened. That's how it's going to be. Because it's just going to be like film trick. You know, the one that happened to me, I don't call it film trick. I call it film. Film, as per that Yoruba pronunciation. Film trick. Because, I saw it coming, but it was just very funny that I saw it coming and it happened that same day. I had that urge to talk about it to somebody. That's probably why I feel like it's film trick. Like, wow, my instincts are really, really sharper than I thought it was. So have conversations with people. Have conversations about what people think about, certain things and all.